I found out my husband was cheating. So I let him think he got away with it until I took everything back. I found out my husband was cheating on an ordinary Tuesday, the kind of day where nothing feels important enough to remember, which is probably why it burned itself into my memory so clearly. There was no dramatic confrontation, no screaming, no gut instinct that something was wrong, just a single message that changed everything. His phone lit up on the kitchen counter while he was in the shower, and I only glanced at it because it kept buzzing. The preview showed just enough. "I miss you already." Last night felt like a dream. My hands went cold instantly. For a moment I convinced myself it had to be a mistake, maybe a wrong number or some weird spam, but deep down I already knew. My body knew before my brain could catch up. I picked up the phone, and that was the moment my entire marriage cracked open. I didn't even have to dig. He hadn't bothered to hide it well. Messages, photos, plans, months of it, maybe longer. Her name was saved with a stupid heart emoji, like he was a teenager instead of a married man. They talked about everything: dinners, weekends away, inside jokes I didn't understand. There were even complaints about me. That part hurt more than the cheating itself. Seeing how he described me, cold, distant, not fun anymore, as if I hadn't been the one holding everything, together while he slowly checked out. When he came out of the shower, I was sitting exactly where I had been before, his phone back on the counter like nothing had happened. I smiled at him. That was the hardest part, acting normal, but something inside me had already shifted. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to cry in front of him. I wanted him comfortable. I wanted him confident. I wanted him to think he was smarter than me. So I said nothing. For weeks I played the part perfectly. I cooked dinner, asked about his day, even laughed at his jokes. Meanwhile, I was quietly collecting everything. Screenshots of messages, copies of his call logs, dates, times, even receipts I found in his pockets and car. I learned her schedule without ever meeting her. I knew when they met, where they went, how often. The more I uncovered, the calmer I became. Not because it didn't hurt, but because I was turning that pain into something useful. What made it worse, and also better, for what I had planned, was that he thought he was careful. He started deleting messages more often, coming home a little earlier, acting more attentive toward me. Guilt, maybe. Or maybe he just didn't want to get caught. But it didn't matter. I already had enough. Then I found out something even bigger. The apartment we lived in, it was under both our names, but most of the payments came from me. The savings account, also mostly mine. I had always trusted him with finances, never thinking I'd need to protect myself from my own husband. That changed overnight. Quietly, I started separating things, moving money into an account he didn't know about, redirecting my income, documenting every contribution I had ever made. I wasn't just planning revenge. I was planning an exit, but I wanted more than just leaving. I wanted him to feel it. Not in a screaming, messy way, but in a way that would hit him slowly, piece by piece, until there was nothing left for him to hold on to. The opportunity came sooner than I expected. He told me he had a work trip coming up. A weekend away. I already knew it was a lie. I had seen the messages. He was planning a getaway with her. A hotel, a whole itinerary. He sounded excited. Happier than I had seen him in months. I smiled and told him to enjoy it. That weekend, while he thought he was off living his secret life, I was busy finalizing everything. I met with a lawyer. I printed every piece of evidence. I arranged for the locks to be changed. And I packed his things. Not angrily, not throwing anything around. Just neatly, carefully, like I was organizing a life that no longer belonged in my home. By Sunday night, everything was ready. When he came back, he walked into silence. No lights on, no music, just boxes stacked by the door. The look on his face was something I'll never forget. Confusion first, then panic. "What's going on?" he asked. I didn't answer right away. I just handed him an envelope. Inside were copies of everything: messages, photos, transactions, dates, proof. "I know," I said simply. He tried to deny it at first, which almost made me laugh. Even with everything right in front of him, he still thought he could talk his way out of it. That's when I realized something important. He didn't think I was capable of this, of planning, of acting, of walking away. That was his biggest mistake. "I'm done," I told him. "The apartment stays with me. The accounts are already separated. Your things are packed." "You can't do this," he said, his voice shaking. I already did. Then came the part he never saw coming. I had sent the evidence to exactly 2 people, his boss and her fiancé. Not out of spite, well, maybe a little, but mostly because I knew the truth had a way of spreading on its own once it was set free. I didn't need to scream or fight. I just needed the right people to know. His face went pale when I told him. "You didn't," he whispered. "I did." That was the moment it really hit him. Not just that he was caught, but that he had lost control. The same control he thought he had over both me and the situation. He tried to apologize after that. Tried to explain. Tried to say it didn't mean anything. But it was too late. I had already mourned the relationship weeks ago. What stood in front of me now was just the aftermath. He left that night, carrying his boxes out one by one, and just like that it was over. In the weeks that followed, everything unfolded exactly how I expected. His perfect little escape fell apart. Her life exploded when the truth came out. And him? He had to face the consequences he never thought would catch up to him. As for me, I stayed exactly where I was. In the home I had built. In the life I reclaimed. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't chase. I just waited, planned, and ended it on my terms. And somehow that felt like the most satisfying revenge of all.